Hey guys, it's Drew here. Today I'm going to talk about the top 5 reasons your car won't start, but it's the top 5 reasons your car would break down while you're driving. So it won't start and you're stuck on the road or you're driving and your car stops. You guys seem to like the top 5 car won't start videos, and there's several different types of them. This will be the third one I've posted. So guys, I appreciate you guys liking my videos, and if this helps you out, subscribe. Thank you to my subscribers if you're currently watching this. So, all right, hopefully you are not watching this on the side of the road, stranded somewhere. Hopefully it means you've taken your car to the mechanic, or you're trying to figure out what's going on with your car. All right, so you're on the road, you're on the freeway, you're on the road, all of a sudden something happens, your car turns off or it's having an issue. All right, so number one, if you're driving down the road and you see steam coming up from your car, steam, just vapor flying out, like it looks like smoke, but it smells very strong, that's coolant leaking from your car. Okay, that is usually from a broken hose. Like on this is the 1995 Dodge Avenger. This car is undrivable, full disclosure there. It's been sitting here for a while, but I try doing a different car every time I do a video. This is your radiator hose right here, and it's very common on most cars. And then you've got several other coolant hoses that are around the car. So, you know, you're going to want to check around here. Your radiator itself could be leaking, but you're going to see a lot of smoke coming up, and your temperature gauge in your car is going to go way up. Now, you're going to have to know what your normal temperature is in your car, but there's a red zone too. So if it gets up above a certain amount of degrees, this is your coolant reservoir on, I believe, yeah, on a Dodge Avenger. Mitsubishi Eagles too. Oh no, that's your coolant reservoir. Wow, see, I don't know this car though. This is your coolant reservoir. That must be windshield wipers over there. They're both empty. This car's been sitting for a while. So, okay, so you're gonna first thing you want to do is smell, listen, then look. Okay, so that's for any time your car breaks down. Smell, listen, then look. Okay, so you're gonna smell. Does it smell like smoke? Does it smell like burned rubber? Does it smell like coolant? Okay, cool. You know, you got to know what these things smell like. So if it's a hose and there's steam coming everywhere, you're going to obviously know it's your coolant leaking. So look around on your car. See where it's leaking from. It could just be this hose coming disconnected, or it might have burst, or there's, you know, an edge on the hose. You got to kind of look around your car. Some engines are harder to see where things are at, but usually it's a broken hose, okay? You also notice this car has no battery. All right, so number 2, you're driving down the road. All of a sudden, your car, you hear a loud whipping and flapping sound, maybe a, you know, something like that. And you're going to smell a strong burned rubber smell. Now, assuming you've got all 4 of your tires and your steering wheel didn't jerk really hard, and your engine in your car is shutting down, that's most likely your fan belt breaking. Now, on the Dodge Avenger, the fan belt is actually, it's over right here. There's a fan belt right here. So that's the one that leads to your alternator, I believe. I'm not an expert on this car. This car's been sitting here for a while, so but there's a belt there. So if that comes loose, that's going to mess up your alternator. It can also, on some cars, like on my Chevy Tahoe, there's something called a serpentine belt. That's a much stronger belt. It's made out of a stronger material. But if that breaks, your whole car is going to stop running. You're going to smell burning and hear a whipping sound. If it's hooked up to your alternator, it's going to keep the car from running. So, yes, fan belt breaks, you can have a loud sound, a whipping sound, or things like that, and the smell of burnt rubber. All right, so that was number 2. Moving on to number 3. Number 3 is going to be if you've got a fuel line issue. These are hard to diagnose, really, really hard, okay? But you're not going to smell anything burnt. You're not going to see steam coming from your vehicle while you're driving. But your car will just shut down, or it'll sputter a little bit when you're hitting the gas. You won't get a full kick out of your gas. It'll go put, 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 you know. Put, put would be the word. You'll get a little kick out of your car, then it'll stall out, and you might try restarting it and it won't start again. You'll feel it in your gas, and you're not getting the full amount of throttle from the gas. That's usually if you could have water in your gas. Now, that's rare nowadays, I'm just telling you, but if your car sat for a while, or if you've got a gas station that's just crappy, water in your gas is not as common now as it used to be. I guess they've got all these new super pumps, but it still does happen. Or if you filled your car up with a gas can that had water in it, yeah, that's definitely going to cause a problem. So if your gas can's been sitting around for a while and you fill a car up with a gas can, all right, now your fuel pump Most cars, you can kind of hear the fuel pump turn when you click a key. But if it fails while you're driving, it's not going to be spitting fuel into the engine. So, you know, that can be a lot of things. It could be actually a fuse for the fuel pump sometimes. Like there's a fuse box right there on a Dodge Avenger. You got to get it checked out. Like I said, it can just be a lot of things. But your fuel pump is usually, a lot of cars, it's under the rear passenger seat or things like that. That's really hard to get to. So you can't really do that if you're on the road. Very tough to diagnose fuel pump issues. You could have junk in your gas. Somebody one time, I had a neighbor that didn't like me. They poured sugar in my gas tank. Well, the sugar just sat in my gas tank forever. But guess what? My car got towed. And when the car got towed, it went up at an angle. And by going up at an angle, it pushed all that sugar into the fuel line. And my fuel filter got clogged. And the car just sputtered out as I was driving. So contaminants in your gasoline, water, other things. You know, if God forbid you accidentally put diesel into a unleaded engine, that can cause you to sputter out. So fuel line issues, that's another reason your car would stop while you're driving with no particular smells or anything like that. Okay, number 4 here. No oil in your car. Very important. You know, there's your engine oil. Check it right there. You put oil in there. You definitely want to check your oil on a regular basis. If you're driving a car without oil in it, it's going to burn the engine. And the engine's eventually going to quit. You'll usually see signs of this by white smoke coming out of your car, white or sometimes black smoke coming out. That's your engine just deteriorating like crazy. You don't want smoke coming out of the engine of your car. That's from not changing your oil every 3 to 5,000. I like to do it every 5,000. They say you don't need everything. Yeah, so if you haven't changed your oil or you have no oil in your car, it's going to burn your engine up. So if your engine quits while you're driving and it's because there is no oil in your car, you're going to smell a strong burning smell. Sometimes your car can even catch on fire because it gets so hot in there while those engine things are going up and down. They're pounding against, they're making a spark, they're making flame, little explosions inside your engine. Well, if there's no oil to lubricate those things, they get hotter and hotter and they can just burn out. So that can completely ruin your engine if that happens with no oil in your car. But you're going to smell that. There's going to be smoke, not steam, coming from your car, and it's going to smell really, really burned. That is not a good situation, okay? So, you know, and it's, yeah, it could just really, you don't even want to know how much it's going to cost if you burn an engine out with no coolant or no oil, but no oil in your car. Okay, so number 5. This one's really, really important. Very, 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 very common. I saved the best for last here. Number 5 is you're driving along and you're in drive. You're going whatever, 55 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour on the freeway. And you're hitting the gas. You're hearing the engine rev and you're not going anywhere. You're in drive. It's going to feel like you're in neutral and you're losing power and you're not going anywhere. Guess what? That's bad. That's your transmission. If your transmission is going out, you're going to have full engine capability. You're going to rev your engine. It's going to go vroom, 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 and yeah. So you're going to want to check, obviously, make sure you didn't accidentally knock your car into neutral. Now, if you've got a clutch car, I'm not too familiar with those, but your clutches need to be replaced too. But I think on automatic transmissions, this mostly happens. Your car just is not going to go anywhere. Your engine's going to rev. You're going to have full capability. Sometimes you'll feel a little jerk or jolt before it goes out. So yeah, if you're on the road and your car engine works, everything in your car works, but you're not going anywhere, and it feels like you're stuck in neutral, that's your transmission that's gone out. That's the red fluid. You're going to want to check your transmission rate. Let's see, right here it says transmission fluid. Sometimes it's just a red thing. There's a dipstick for it on older model cars. Some of the newer ones are sealed off. So if there's no transmission fluid in there, then most likely that's what's happened. If you check your transmission fluid on a regular basis, you can keep your transmission from burning out. If you see that you're low on transmission fluid, it usually means there's a leak somewhere. You're going to want to look for a red fluid under the car. And if there's red fluid under the car, you're going to want to find where that's leaking, whether it's leaking at a seal of the transmission. There's not, to my knowledge, there aren't too many hoses for transmissions. It's actually just right directly into the engine. So if your transmission is leaking, it's usually a seal on your transmission. And those can be expensive to have replaced as well. You can sometimes buy I have another video about it. I think it's called Lucas Oil transmission. And if you've already burned out your transmission, your car isn't running, you're kind of screwed. But sometimes you can just put transmission fluid back in your car and it'll start running again amazingly. I had this 1992 Mercedes. It ran out of transmission fluid. It had a leak. I put transmission fluid back in, and I guess they just have very strong transmissions. The car drove again. But all right, guys. Well, if your transmission's out, you're in a lot of trouble because it's very expensive to fix. It's anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000 to have fixed, depending on whether you get a new one or whether you get a rebuild transmission. So don't let that happen. All right, so that's number 5 on the top 5 reasons why your car would break down while you're driving. Top 5 reasons why your car won't start. Part 3. All right, so let's go over them one more time. Number 1 is hose leaks. You're going to have a coolant smell, and this steam's going to be coming up from your engine. Number 2 is a fan belt breaking while you're driving. You're going to hear a whip or a flapping sound, and you're going to smell a burn smell. And it's usually the belt hooked up to your alternator or your water pump, your fan belt, your water pump down there. That is not going to function. If your water pump's not going, your car's not going to run. Okay. Number 3 is fuel line issues. If you've got water in your gasoline, things like that, or contaminants in your gasoline, or your fuel pump has an issue. Number 4, no oil in your car. That's going to cause your engine to burn out. You're going to see smoke coming from your car and have a burning smell. Your car could even catch on fire. And number 5 is your transmission goes out. The car engine is still going to run, and you're not going to have your car's not going to go anywhere. So you need to check transmission. All right, guys, this is Drew. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe, and I really appreciate it if you're already a subscriber. Give this video a thumbs up. You guys have a great day. Thanks.